Blessings include currency, being relevant in this now moment, presence, electrical energy and charge, monetary exchange, welcome. During this time of global pause, many of us have encountered a change in the way we navigate time, space, and currency. Currency, transacting now more than ever before online, from business to personal purchasing. Over the last 12 months, there's been such an expanding of sight unseen purchasing. Rather than being able to go into a store and touch and feel and try something on, there's an increase in the requiring of faith to place an order and anticipate delivery of something that we may otherwise previously have walked into a store and purchased from stock. It impacts economically. The ratios of staff in a store have changed. Opening hours have changed. Checking into locations is now mandatory in Australia. What underpins all of that, though, is our own energy. Being able to adapt to these circumstances now, the way we live our lives day to day. With many working from home, how we navigate a space shared by several people now full-time isn't easy, and yet it's been forced upon us to experience. Some make it work, for others it's been an immense challenge. it's normal. The next it's not. What I've found from my experience is that when I exchange energy, it's ideally with a hello, a smile, a question, a greeting. An exchange of words, energy. Entering a space and navigating it through the aisles. Till we find what we're looking for, and if it's not available, then we ask questions. Can it be brought in? The way we relate to people, in essence, hasn't changed, has it? How we feel within ourselves determines how we relate to someone. My sense is we've become a lot more conscious about that. The how we show up matters. And it's an ongoing conversation with self. Many have adapted well to this change in lifestyle. How we connect, how we engage, how we acquire, how we be. Many of you will be aware of sayings such as, your energy precedes you. There's an energetic currency exchange that is received by someone and is responded to by someone in return. The unseen energy of kindness, of love, of welcome. Has that amplified now since we've been several times in lockdowns? Are we more appreciative of that degree of connection? Are we more aware that that is actually part of community engaging, our sense of thriving, our sense of belonging, our sense of participating? I'd like to think that it has become more conscious. And that's a good thing. The way we relate on online, face-to-face, is another interesting dimension for me, because when I engage with someone on a online video chat, now there's this little box that has me reflecting back towards me in a corner, or side by side depending on which platform we're using, and I'm now visually connecting with another from wherever they are on the planet in real time, and I'm also observing how I'm relating now. I find that fascinating. Not that I like looking at myself, by the way. It's more about, at times I adjust my posture to align with that of what I'm envisaging the other person is doing. I'm more aware of the interaction of body language and tonality and the pause, and being so much more present for someone, because we're poised in a stationary situation where for a period of time we're not simply passers-by. And that's beautiful. There's an appointment, an agreed time where we press the login link, and voila, there we are, having conversations on purpose, on point. Being involved in the coaching space, it's very important for me, being aware of the attributes of communicating that we are reminded of in that space, and having that awareness to apply it and observe the feedback that much more intimately with self, and by default another person sitting somewhere through the screen. Who'd have thought? When I was growing up, that was not even on the radar. Yet here we are, living our days by it now. Initially, it was the only option we had. This time 12 months ago, that's how we were doing dance classes and yoga classes, or through the television, or through our computers, our devices. As the year progressed and we were allowed a little bit more freedom to go outdoors and go back into the community and engage in live events on location, there's still that option to continue relating online, especially here in Australia, where we haven't had that intercontinental travel, international travel. It's now acceptable to do business this way, to participate in leisure activities, choirs online. My goodness. Leading up to Christmas, I was listening to the ABC radio a lot and talking about the online gathering of people rehearsing for a collective experience of singing. Some beautiful productions came about. People were very creative. I saw a video which is so seems so surreal, where you'd have a guitar player in a particular country and then a piano player somewhere else, and they're all linked somehow. Someone on drums, someone singing, someone dancing, all part of this cosmic orchestra unified through technology in real time, recorded simultaneously and then broadcast into this sequence of visual images, boxes like windows in the screen, revealing each artist in their own unique space, contributing to the whole of a performance. Currency in that current moment that was created and recorded to be repeated. For me, I've become so much more self-aware through technology. Even recording this, I can see myself on the screen. For me, it's been really valuable, because what I'm now appreciating for the first time is how another may see me as I engage with them. It's holding me to account. How am I showing up? With my intention to be kind regardless. It's not negotiable for me. Also, with so much more being recorded now and being played back, it's like we're playing in that realm of being immortalized in the moment and shared across the cosmos, going viral. Interesting, isn't it? Seems like we want to capture more moments to look back on. Now we have such amazing technology. Our smartphones the cameras are often more of capacity to produce amazing images that you can edit as you're processing that image and then saving it to different platforms and sharing it wherever. It's so fascinating how more captivated we are. And in my view of that, I feel we're holding ourselves in presence more often for longer periods of time, because everything we gather is stored in our memory, which when it resurfaces becomes everything converts back into real time, so like it was maybe taken 2 or 3 hours ago, a few years ago, wherever on the planet we were when that was taken. It becomes something that we carry with us to appreciate again, moment after moment after present moment. And gratefulness to anyone who was involved in the birthing of cameras. Thank you. I, for one, capture images so many times a day. partly because I'm journaling a photo story. Several stories actually, and yet there's a knowing that it is available to me anytime to compile, to share, complete with editing tools. But there's no urgency. It will happen. It's already in motion. Chatting with my kids over Easter as a surprise video chat call. My oldest son in the east coast of America, my daughter and third-born son over in York and England and London respectively, and my youngest here in Brisbane, all synchronizing to connect in that one moment, agreed across time zones. Requires a bit of calculating, and for me it was early morning. For those in the UK it was late in the evening, and America was somewhere in between. Is there any excuse to now not connect with people you love? It's pretty special, isn't it? And the currency that underpins all of that, rather than being a financial value, though I'm sure it requires financial investing in obviously the technology, the band waves, the data usage. Primarily though, I'm finding for me that my reason for connecting always comes back to love. That we connect matters, that we capture precious moments to share when we can't physically travel yet. Currency, the currency of possibilities, yet revealing in ways that are likely going to be different again 12 months from now. There are special people around the world that as soon as I can board a plane safely and ensure that everything is in order for me, I just want to hug my kids, hug my grandkids, meet my new granddaughter, hug friends who I've deepened relationships with purely by committing to connecting often. globally. And my heart is thriving. We're now able to go back out into the community for most of our day-to-day needs, whether it be going back into workplaces, going to medical appointments, taking care of our wellness, socialising, still with restrictions, going out dining, meeting friends face to face. It's pretty beautiful, Here we're coming out in our autumn season. It's so important to get out into the fresh air, into the sunshine, absorb the energy of nature, refresh, pause, breathe, be the oneness with the natural world, especially when we're confined to indoors in constructed environments, more so. Currency, our current lifestyle has had to adapt to our environment. In an environment where we're more informed about what's going on, what's driving this pause. Do we yet know totally how it will unfold? I don't think so yet. Though apparently we'll soon be able to travel from here to New Zealand and vice versa. There's a lot of excitement about that because there's lots of connections, familial connections across the Tasman between Australia and New Zealand. And for us, it's feeling like that's progress. That's a step back to that sense of a global community. Currency. Beyond the money. Money is simply an aspect of energy in motion as it moves from one hand to another. Is it holding value? Is a question that I'm hearing. With so many of the patriarchal constructs of economies being exposed and being held to account, crumbling, I ask the question, what will be our currency financially going forward? invite you to be aware. While everything is what it appears to be, nothing is what it appears to be. Listen to your voice within. First and foremost, only always listen to your heart, that voice in your belly. Guidance. Allowing the conversations with self ongoing. As a vibrancy of love, truth, grace, compassion, allowing, non-judgment, kindness. Kindness is an awesome currency. Feels so light and freeing. Acts of kindness. Acts of love. Gifts of patience, tolerance. Honoring difference. All exchanged as electrical impulses. Palpable sense of awareness preceding us even entering into a room, into a conversation. The stage is already set. As we honour our Earth days every day. As the presence we be. The relevance we be. The contribution we be when we exchange currency.